Good morning, good people, on another summer glorious day here in Derby. I'm at the Old Limes Bar in Derby. Now, a lot of history behind this place, and many years ago it basically is all of this, and it was a bit of a restaurant, nightclub kind of place, and quite upmarket. We used to come here a few times, Christmas meals and things, with bits and bobs company wise that I've worked together with over the years, and we've had some really good times and memories here. But it got turned into apartments going back about 10, maybe 15 years ago, so it just goes to show you how old I am. Dinosaur. No, honestly, it must have been maybe even 20 years ago. But anyway, less of that, more of what we're doing. So I'm going to show you the route in a second. We will not be using the big boy today. We will not be using the big boy. We're going to go in low moisture purely because it's impossible. We can't get a permit for parking out the front, as when this was booked, that's what we looked at, and it's just a no parking at no time on the road outside on Frygate. It's just too busy. So what we've got is it's low moisture. I've already took the vac up and what have you. I'm just about to take some tools up because we've got some restretching to do. One room is what they've called for because it's quite bad, so we're going to restretch it on one wall. It is delaminated, which I'll show you in a moment, and then we're going to give it a good old north, south, east and west vacuum because these carpets are not in good condition now. It is fully synthetic polypropylene, but they've seen better days. I've managed the customer's expectations straight away, and I've said, listen, it doesn't matter what we use on these carpets. We could use a Rolls-Royce engine. You're not going to make these carpets look super duper. They've just got far too much wear on. So I will show you now how we're getting to it and what's entailed. Bear with me. Okay, so this is the only route in. We've got to cut through half of the old building, so all down here with everything, all tools. It's a right weird setup, guys. We get them sometimes. This is definitely one of those. Dead old as well. Some history here. Make sure that's closed properly. Then we're out onto Frygate. Historical place this in Derby, and you just cannot get a permit to park here at any time. It's all under lock and key. Not that it's a terrible area. It's just obviously it's right smack bang in the middle of Derby town centre. There we go. So I remember back in the day, this was an entrance, and you would come up here to the restaurant and the bar and the dance floor and nightclub was all that way. So we've got one. This is the first floor from the ground floor. I mean, even the rotary is a lot, up and down, especially in this heat that we're having. But I love it. Right, so let's show you what's what. This hallway here, you can see it's got the step down there. I'm gonna have to bring up, and I'll open that yet, but ooh, that's a bit airy, isn't it? You can see we've got all soot marks and everything there. So yes, it's going to be a challenge. I mean, the soil and level here, I don't know if this camera's picking it up as good as I want it to, but it's quite bad. And it's delaminating here as well. It's obviously short here, and I've said if we want to, you know, it won't re-stretch up because there's not enough give from that bar to here. I mean, you probably would get it, to be fair, with a power stretcher, but with that bar and those teeth being knocked over, it's going to need a new bar and everything. So the best thing to do here with the condition and everything is just to put a new sticky bar flat plate over the top, give it a stretch up, adhesive it in, and that would hold it. So again, we've got some markings everywhere really. Got a bit of a clean patch there, it's a bit weird, isn't it? See that? And what's going on there? Got some stains. This is the bedroom, your normal kind of bits and bobs. We will tuck in the Valance spray, and we don't want to lift up the plug as well. So I've explained that. For the price, we will go around large items like this, you know, give it a good vac and just clean the actual walked on areas. So we won't be taking the bed out, but we will be tucking the Valance sheet. And this has been up at some point. If you look around the edge, the carpet could all need re-stretching and re-tucking. It's definitely been up for something. These floors will all be solid concrete. They're up and down, they're everywhere. It's like riding a crisp, honestly. Really bad, and that's why it will pull it away from sides and things, because the contour of the carpet is just not meant to go over such unevenness. Then this is the lounge. They used to have a desk here, so the chair, you can see, has delaminated the carpet. I've explained that that is not a re-stretch, that is actual damage. The backings have come away, the glue has deteriorated with the friction of the chair, turned back into a powder from the latex, and then could have been mainly vacked up, or it would be lying beneath the carpet and the underlay. So we can give a re-stretch, and we tend to hold the top part of the carpet, so that would be the secondary backing, because you've got the primary backing on the bottom, that's what will be face down to the underlay. Then we've got the latex layer of glue, and then we've got the secondary backing. So we're going to try and attach the secondary backing with a bit of a spray adhesive along that wall and stretch it up. I make it sound easy. Please, if you're looking at getting into anything like this, do sit a course. The best ones are the best. No pun intended. But yeah, you do need to know what you're doing. It's easy to look at a professional doing it and think, I could do something like this, but you can run into a host of problems. So I wouldn't say I'm showing you this to go out there and do it without any initial training, just like the cleaning. Then we've got this burn here. You know, I've said if you want, without making a full repair, we can have a look to see if we can at least take that black char off to have it not as visible to the eye. And he said yeah, so we'll take a quick look at that and see what we can do. Quick tuck back into this wooden threshold here, just along here. I mean, I'm not going mad, I'm not going to pull that back and re-stretch it and stick it and everything. It's just literally going to be tucked away to look a bit more presentable, because really these carpets do need changing, which I've explained to the customer. They've got excessive wear. It's just sometimes a naked eye picks it up much better than any camera will. So we've just got to hope for the best on this, guys. All right, let's get back down to the van. Right then, so just like I was saying, you know, for anyone that thinks they can just go out and do something that they're not trained for, can run into problems, serious problems. Yeah, this is one of those. So Hence why when I say I can do a restretch, it's because I can do a restretch, and that depends on anything that it needs. So what's happened here on this job is the gripper rods have totally detached, okay, because it's a concrete floor. Like I said, you know, these will all be concrete floors, and it's had a screed put over the top, and you can just see the screeds popped. Yeah, that can be through moisture, can be through several things, but that would have been why the grippers are then detached, because the screed has popped. And then we've got the separation, the delamination. I don't know if you can see this, like the naked eye can pick it up, but you can see I'm pulling that because that's totally detached from the latex center and the primary backing. So we've now got a carpet that only consists of the primary backing and the actual tuft, the pile. This is totally loose. That really needs latex putting back into it, drying, and then obviously fully restretching. They probably wouldn't want to pay that because it's a rental, so I might do something for a quick fix that might make it a little bit better, but it's not going to be the full correct job, because I don't think this particular customer would want to pay for that to be cured and then obviously fully repaired. So we'll make a semi-repair on that, but we do need to supply some products, so some gripper, some adhesive. So the quote's gone up straight away because we quoted for a restretch, and this is a repair slash restretch. So let's go and get some bits to get this done. So we always carry a bag of grippers like this, pre-cut, saves so much time, because then we can just literally pop them all down, ready to go. Let's get these done. Right, so I've just grabbed an Hoover so we can get this up. This was under the carpet, so the carpets have been up for something, whether it be damp or something, I don't know. But obviously that probably wouldn't have been under the carpet otherwise. Anyway, the grippers have been cut, fully stuck, and I used a rapid glue for those, so they're set, they're ready to go instantly. Hot melt glue on those. So I'm just going to vac this up now. that's that. It's not knocking down any trees, guys. It's just a quick tidy up on that. But once the carpet's been cleaned, you know, that will look a lot different, and you probably don't know where it is because I'm pointing to it. It looks a lot better than it did. I think you'll agree. I'm sure you would. Well, after assessing it, we know that it wasn't actually a restretch it needed, and it was the grippers that had popped that needed replacing and restretching on, and the delamination that we've seemed to have fixed, to be fair. You know, major improvement. No ripples, not much came off it, like I say. It wasn't actually that it needed a restretch, it wasn't big, it just come away from the grippers. But after giving it a restretch, because once the carpet is stretched, it's a bit like a drum skin, you know, and then once it's released, it's kind of grew a little bit, so we've got that off it. But yeah, I'm sure you'd agree again that it looks much better. All right, then it's time to give it a vac. Vacuum's empty. Got some nice suction on the carpet there. Oh yeah, that's night and day, isn't it? You know, with a bit of adhesive underneath it and a bit of a restretch, it's just made so much difference. A really good vac is where everywhere needs. North, south, east and west. That's actually held very well. For saying it wasn't cured, like I say, we've always got different prices for different tiers, haven't we, you know? If you wanted to spend some proper time on it, doing the job A1 correct, then obviously that's going to come at whatever the time is. Or there's a alternative method where it's a make do. You know, we try and titivate it a little bit and then they make do with it. A few little splodges of paint that I'll attend to. But apart from that, it's not too bad. I'm expecting a lot of dust, bacteria, debris and everything to come out of this, just in this room alone. You can tell, you know, just by looking at a carpet once, you know what you're looking for, just how much it's been vacuumed. And this carpet, it hasn't been treated correctly, to be fair. You know, it's harbouring a lot. Like I say, we had an empty canister. I'm going to be deadly honest with you, the way this is coming up now, we're probably half full. There we go. There we go. By the time I finish this room, this canister will need emptying. Guaranteed. There's that much dust particles in these fibres. And you must have had it before, guys. You know, you low moisture cleaners. When you've thoroughly vacuumed a carpet, you must have had a customer say to you, just because the way it's brushing again, the pile's moving, oh, you've made a lovely job of that, and they think you've cleaned the carpet, and you have to tell them, no, you know, I've only gave it a thorough vacuuming, and they can't believe it. You know, same with when we see RB, you know, same thing. That's what you get, and it's just because a flick over is what a customer would do, you know. They don't know the dangers of dust particles and debris. They don't know what it's doing to the fibres of the carpet, you know. It's only us weirdos that know that sort of stuff, us that care about it. You know, have you ever had a conversation with anyone, customer-wise or otherwise, and you start telling them about your job and you look at the facial expressions? It's like me telling them about God and Jesus. You know, you lose interest straight away. But what's a passion for one person isn't always a passion for another. And if there's one thing that I've learnt in life, it is that we should never try and move someone that can't be moved. Wow. It's going to look nice, this is. Let's have a look at what we've got now in the canister. Oh, you beauty. You little beauty, you. Ooh, little baby gobstopper or something there. Made light work of it. Is there anybody out there that names their tools, their vans, whatever it is? I know for a fact I've had some names for me vans over the years. And this vac here, call her Shirley. Our Shirley. Great little vac is our Shirley. Or is it just me? Maybe it's just me. This carpet is so matted. So we've vacked the lounge, we've vacked the bedroom, now we're on this section of hall. It's all in the vacuuming when it comes to low moisture. Got to make sure that it's done thoroughly and heavily, because for those that don't know, you know, I'm not trying to tell those that do how to suck eggs, it's just for those that don't know that might be stumbling across the channel. It's all about removing the debris. It's all about removing the dust, no matter how you're cleaning, whether it's low moisture or rinse extraction. It's all about removing the soiling. So you'll be surprised with a good thorough vacuuming how much soil you'll actually remove without any extraction whatsoever. Now obviously I will be extracting, but I'll be extracting into a pad. So we'll be dampening the carpet with an encapsulation solution. And for those that don't know, basically that's going to crystallize the soil, all of the dirt components and little bits and bobs, covers it, coats it. So most of it will be removed through the pads, the toweling. And what isn't, once it dries fully, will be vacuumed out. Now sometimes that's done by myself, or sometimes I have a word with a customer to obviously say tomorrow, you know, give it a strong vacuum and it will remove any existing particles. I probably spend 10 to 15 minutes on vacuuming each area, just going over and over. You know, it's the one thing we can rely on when we've not got water to emulsify the soil in. So I thought that was a little bit of something. It's paint all around these architraves. So important to get everywhere. So these little areas here is really where the dust will gather and collect. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to clean the carpet, not renew it. Sometimes your customers can get confused, you know, especially, I've said it before, when they watch our social videos and we have a right good and that comes up beautifully, you know, they think theirs is going to, when they've got no pile left, you know. You can't make something come back. Alright, I'm happy on that area now, so I'll move to the last whole piece. Just take this chair out of the way so we've got some room to clean. Pop her in here. There he is. Alright. So I'm already up to 3/4 full. I was just wondering whether to change it or not, but we may as well keep going. So everywhere is that, like I say. Today, Bonnet Pro. We're using Surround, Omega Surround. Citrus. It is an encapsulation solution. Really, really good. Smells nice and zesty and does the job amazingly. Very low dilution rates. I've got about 6 litres there, and I think this is like 10 mil to 30 mil per litre. Right, she's full. So we're going to start off in the lounge, and then we'll do the bedroom, and we'll work our way out into the hall and then out the door, so we're not treading over our work. We are doing around the furniture as well. Small items I've moved, but large items will be staying down. And I think we'll do 2 rooms at a time, because we're going to go over with an agitation pad and then a recovery pad, which will be a cotton bonnet, Iron Man again, from Bonnet Pro. A couple of splashes of paint that we'll attend to afterwards, but nothing severe. A little bit of red there. Okay. So I'll plug the machine cord in, lead, outside the room, so we're not going over it. All little things like this out. Also, it's when it's not ravelled up. And I won't take more than I need. I don't want to be tripping over it. So for this room, we'll get everywhere at about 4 metre. I think I'll plug in out the way here. I've got to lube the Iron Man pad. So, sorry, the Zebra agitation pad. It's got to be lubed so that we don't cause too much friction on the fibre, because this is a synthetic fibre made out of oil, and too much heat and speed will burn it very quickly. So we need to either shower feed or pre-spray the floor, and then just a little bit on the pad as well. do either side. It's going to be turned. Hope you're enjoying the video so far, guys, and if you like the content, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Even hit the notifications bell so that you'll be notified for upcoming videos in the future. I come in and out of the channel. It's never left dormant too long, but work permitting allows me to do it when I can do it, because sometimes we're just far too busy to do the videos, you know, take up a lot of time. And I've said before, I don't think people fully understand with editing and bits and bobs just how much YouTube takes. It's nice to do it raw, but it's also nice to watch something that you enjoy, you know. What's that? You're never away from entertainment in town centres. The amount of police, fire engines and everything that I've heard go by so far is unreal. And you pay more to live in them, you know. They're definitely for a younger generation, because the older you get, I think the more peace you want, you know. You look for places in the country. Oh yeah, putting through it nice. There'll be certain stains that might need spotting, which I'll obviously do. You know, we'll get these carpets as good as we possibly can. That contour of that floor then just literally took the machine the way it wanted to take it. It's got that many lumps and bumps in the floor that literally hit it, and it just took it right when I was left. Like that then. It is. I'm on a hill. I know you can't see this on the camera, but literally I'm cleaning on a hill. That's how bad this floor is. In fact, it's absolutely terrible. And that alone would cause huge amounts of wear to the carpet. Scary, to be fair. It's really on that side. That's definitely going to need spotting there. Well, that's the agitation taken care of in these two rooms, and I'm sure you can see a massive difference compared to this. Oh, look at the colour difference. See that bit that I said at the beginning? I wondered why it was like that. Well, now that looks like that clean spot. And so does those rooms, both. So this, I'm expecting to get up like those. So now is the finishing pad. So let's get that on. this is just an agitation pad. Already been over that. Again, I'm sure you can see the difference between that and that. That's not done. This is obviously agitated, not even extracted. Right then, let's get rid of this. That's the pad from doing the bedroom, and that side's the living room. I'll get rid of these two and get a fresh one. There. Fresh cotton. Ho ho, look at the difference, guys. Night, day. Wow. It still impresses me. I'm going to be deadly honest with you. It still impresses me all the time. Every time I use it. Don't get me wrong. Rinse extraction is going to clean deeper. Let's not get confused. It is going to clean deeper. But low moisture has benefits over rinse extraction. Quicker dry times, less noise, no doors open, many things, you know. And I'm sure there'll be some people out there that says rinse extraction doesn't clean deeper than low moisture, but it's been proven that it does, you know. It's literally been proven that it does. But that's not to say that low moisture can't be one of your favourite cleaning methods, because, well, it is mine. Always has been. Always has been. A little bit of spotting in here as well, but That will be sorted and sorted lovely. Now I'm a bit slower over the areas because I'm not trying to just extract the soil, but I'm trying to dry it more as well, so the fibres are moving in almost an anti-clockwise motion. So I will change the way I am as well, from left to right, so that I can push them over to the other side. Because when you're using an orbital machine, it vibrates the soil into the pad. It works differently for those that don't know. Again, get a lot of people watching the channel that are newbies thinking about getting into the trade, you know, wanting to see what's entailed. And I'm hoping that this channel gives you ambition, you know, because it's not a tutorial channel, but I'm hoping it gives you ambition to go out there and get the correct training in everything that you do when it comes to floor care maintenance, you know. Like I say, there's many strings to the bow when it comes to floor care maintenance. Not just how you clean, but what you clean, you know, what you're going to clean. Me, I'm primarily carpets and upholstery, but I do some hard floors, safety floors, vinyl flooring, some tiles, you know. I'm not interested at the moment in breaking out into doing anything other than that, because I also supply and install flooring as well as repair it, which it keeps me busy, guys, you know. It's not been a great time for many people this year due to the economy. I've been okay. I've been paying the bills, you know, that kind of thing. Luckily, because I have a few different things to bounce through. So when carpet cleaning, like it's not being what it should be, let's say, you know, recently, but the carpet side for me has been extremely busy, you know. It's more so to the point that if the cleaning side was like it should be over the last kind of 3 months, then I would have struggled, because a couple of people that know me in the industry, I now fit all my own stuff, where, you know, I went for years having people work with me and for me, but now it's just me, myself and I, you know, and that can be hard at times. I do get labour in, don't get me wrong, I'm not silly, you know. If I've got a big carpet, I had 2 this week that I had labour in, but I haven't got a guy that's working for me on fitting carpets full time, you know. It's just me, myself and I on that one. But I love it, you know. I do. I love the bones of this. Right. Well, I have already pre-sprayed this. I wanted it to dwell. I wanted that citrus to start eating away at that soil. So now I'll change the pad out to a fresh zebra pad, sorry. I was going to say Iron Man. And then we'll get this knocked out. Right, guys, so that's the post-vac done. This is it, all complete. Let me take you through. So personally, I think it's come up an absolute treat. So all that area there, that was absolutely cake. Look at it. I say it every time, don't you, guys? It surprises me every time. It all looks absolutely fantastic. Not blowing smoke up my own arse, but I'm very happy with it. All down there where we had all those ripples and bubbles. Smells fantastic as well. Smells like someone's been peeling oranges all day. So, even the bedroom, it's all come up extremely well. So till next time, guys, take care of yourselves and take care of the moisture, and I'll see you in the next one.